Welcome to my video. So I make this video and the videos from now on to kind of share my experience of transitioning, because I am a non-binary, queer, trans-masculine person. I do not have any preference for pronouns at the moment. That might change, but for now, you know, call me whatever you want. I haven't decided on a name either because my name is very feminine. I'm gonna try figure out a name. I don't know. Could call me K because that's just the first letter of my name and it kind of works as a male name. But I don't know if I feel like K is my name. At least not now. Maybe during my transition. At some point I will get myself a name. I've been thinking a lot about myself and about how I feel because I have been experiencing quite a lot of gender dysphoria and body dysphoria. I mean, you can tell I've been dressing quite masculine for a while. I cut my hair about 2 years ago, but that was more of a... I don't even know what that was, but it was awesome. Well, obviously I tried to dress very masculine, but it does not work with my body shape. It's not like I hate my body. That's not at all. I mean, I love it. I have tattoos on it. I'm healthy. I'm always quite healthy. Thanks genes, thanks my parents. And I'm trying to be quite healthy. I'm vegan for 6 years now. I'm working out a lot. So yeah, but I was always not confident or not okay with myself, if that makes any sense. I thought to do something about it. And I mean, I've been watching trans YouTubers for a long time on YouTube and I love them. And I was always very passionate about trans topics. I didn't understand why, but I didn't care because I thought those are awesome people that, you know, just try to live their life as their true self. And I've been always a big supporter of trans rights, and I've been talking about that in school and to a lot of people always. But yeah, the thing is, I was slightly envious of all the trans, especially male trans people, because their results looked awesome. They were all so happy and it was just so nice. And the thing was though, I never considered it for myself because I thought I don't identify as male. I cannot transition. That was like end of the story. And I did know about non-binary people, but I don't know, it took me quite a long while to get to the point where I'm right now. I came to the point that I am non-binary, queer, genderqueer, I don't know, there's so many labels, but for sure that I am trans-masculine. So I want to look more masculine, and from the outside I want to be considered as male. Okay, so I live in Japan for 5 years now, and I don't know how well you know Japan, but it is very conservative. So I know about trans people. I've met a very nice trans woman in Shibuya one day, and we talked a lot, and the thing is though that people are not open about it. She was very nice to even come out to us, so I knew that there was trans people, but they're very hidden because Japanese society, you know, you just have to fit in with everyone. You're not supposed to stick out, you're not supposed to be different. So obviously, you know, if they pass, then they just pass and they just want to live their life the way they are. I didn't know how the law was or how things were going here, so I just looked up, you know, hormone therapy, Tokyo or something, and then I found this clinic that had extremely detailed description about what they were doing and what gender is and how you feel and gender dysphoria and different surgeries and everything, and I was pretty amazed. So I just got an appointment and I went there, and first when I called they were asking me if I want to get a shot, and it was like, I just want to, you know, talk to someone, maybe figure out things, and they were like, okay. Then I went there again, and then they were asking me, are you here for a shot today? And I'm like, no, I just want to talk, you know, because I'm still like trying to figure out myself. The doctor I was talking to was extremely nice. I was so surprised. He looks like this average older Japanese guy. I mean, yeah, he is a doctor and it's his profession, but he is so educated on all, on gender, which is so rare in Japan. I told him how I feel, and he told me about everything. What there's for possibilities, how you identify. And I first said FTX, because yeah, I do identify as non-binary or something. I don't know, I don't identify as male, so yeah. And then, what kind of options there are, what other people do, like how a lot of people, for example, just take hormones and then do get top surgery and then stop there, or just do top surgery, and just everyone is different. That was pretty much his point. In Japan, the law states that to be able to change your sex officially on your documents, you have to get bottom surgery, which is something very old-fashioned. I don't know, it sounds weird, but I think it's not fair, but it's okay. It's the law, and maybe it'll change in a few years because it's pretty much changing everywhere else. We were talking about my situation and how I identify, non-binary, neither, queer, whatever, and non-binary is fine. It's not in the binary of those two. And how I want to present myself more masculine. And then he was asking me if I want to get hormone therapy, and I was like, yes, that's what I was thinking about. He was also telling me you can always, later on change your mind if you maybe want to get top surgery at some point, or if you know that there's people who just wanted to have hormones in the beginning but ended up, completely changing and then even getting married or something. So, every person is different and every person changes their mind, and that's something that is okay, and just because you start taking hormones doesn't mean you have to transition all the way. For example, especially with testosterone, it's something that you can just try. This sounds okay, don't just try it, If you take testosterone for a year or less than a year, and then you realize it's not for you, you can just stop, and then it will pretty much go back to normal. The only things that won't change back is your voice. So if you get deeper voice, then you won't get back old, higher voice. And you might also get infertile if you have been on testosterone for a long time. Other than that, it's not something irreversible. Well, then we decided that for me, hormone therapy would be the right thing. And I got this long explanation here, all in Japanese. But it's not as hard as I thought, which is very nice. And, of course, first, what it's going to change, how you get thicker hair, your period will stop, and your voice gets deeper. And then also some things that you have to be careful about is that you will get pimples, and you might get higher cholesterol levels, higher blood pressure, and everything. So he was very clear, and he explained everything to me where I have to be careful about, and that was super fine. So he was very, very nice. So there is the shots. You can take a pill, and there's a cream or gel, testo gel. And in Japan, they mostly just do the shots. And there is also 2 different kinds of shots. I'm just saying what the doctor said. So there is the short-term shots that is either 125 milligrams or 250, which lasts 2 to 3 or 3 to 4 weeks. And then there is the long-term shot, which is called nibedo. Only know the Japanese pronunciation, and that lasts for 5 to 6 months. In Japan, apparently for Westerners, it's only 3 to 4 months. So body type is different. So apparently for Japanese people, when they always tested the hormones levels, they were still pretty high at 3-4 months, and then they noticed that at 5 to 6 months it dropped, so they gave them the next shot. And for options, you can get them on your arm or on your butt, in your butt. He explained to me all about this, and then he was like, so you want to get your first shot today? And I was like, what? I was like, I just came here to talk. I thought, at least what I heard from other people from Europe, for example, or from Austria, that it takes months of going to a psychologist or therapy and, figuring out if that's actually what you want. And then in Japan, you just go there, talk to this guy, and he's like, good, that's what you want, that's what you need, let's start. So I did not expect to get my first shot on the first day, but I did. And because I was very afraid of the needles, they were still very nice. So the nurse, I told her actually how afraid I was, and she was saying that for people, even though it doesn't hurt as much, because the moment where it's an injection or it's a needle, they think it's very scary, even though it's not. And she was saying that the butt hurts less, but it's quite embarrassing for some people to put out the butt on the first time. So a lot get it on the arm. And then also, because I'm right-handed, rather the left arm is better. So I got you can barely see it, but it's like this tiny little dot here. And I was so nervous, but it did not hurt at all. Yay! That is a big, important thing. But it didn't hurt at all. Now it's like slightly, it's not sore, but when I sleep on this side, you know, I can feel the pressure. So yeah, I got my first shot, and I got 125 milligrams, which means it's gonna be 2 to 3 weeks, and in 2 weeks I have my next appointment. So I didn't expect to get my first shot, and then I was just so happy, and I cried. I still feel like crying. It's something that, I don't know, I did not expect to be this fast. When it got to the point where I told myself that it is what I want, that I want to be more masculine, and I do not care what other people think, because that's something that is really an issue, you know. Even if you want to do something yourself and you know that other people are against it, or you're worried about how people will perceive you, that might stop you, but I knew that it was not going to stop me anymore. So that was a decision I did for myself, and that made me extremely happy. But the moment where I decided that I do want to transition and that is really what I want, it made me feel so much better. Like, I felt a lot freer. I felt like it was okay. I know it sounds so weird, because I was trying to be feminine a lot of times in my life, and it always didn't work. It always made me feel uncomfortable. It felt awkward. It felt wrong in a way, and it's just not for me. So the moment where I knew that I don't have to try anymore, that it's okay to be the way I want to be and the way that I feel like, it was awesome. And then I thought it would be a long process from there on, from what I heard, you know. And I know that therapy is very expensive in Japan, so I was really worried. It's actually not at all. Like, for this first time, I only paid 6,600 yen, which is around 50 euros, $60-ish. And from now on, like, each shot, like the first shot was 3,000 yen, but from now on it's only going to be half the price every 2 weeks, which is extremely cheap, and I don't know how that's possible, and I think it's awesome because it's really affordable. So I don't have to worry about that. Something that I know is that I'm not going to change as a person at all, because I am who I am. I've always been who I was, and it's just really going to be the way I look. I think I'll do monthly updates to see how my voice changes, to see how my body changes, how I feel, and everything. And if you're interested, just stick by, watch. I don't know. Stay tuned!